Well, you guys ready to talk about some sports?
Maybe a little bit. They're all running to the kitchen now, man.
That's right, Victor Allen. Happy because it's digital. Hey, they're coming through.
Our back.
The new sports recurring segment of the Morning Cup with Mario show. Brought to you by the bald-headed black man, the man that the ladies have nicknamed Sexual Chocolate. Rub his hand and make a wish. Never to dress appropriately. Sports bras and jock straps. To get ready. Here's Nick. Yeah, sports. Damn it.
You're wrong, man. Well, you know one thing, my segment is not going to be as personally, attached to everyday lives because you either follow the sports or you don't. And I know right now nobody's sad because the Olympics are gone. Are you missing it already, man? You missing the Olympics, man? See, this is my thing. This is my part.
No, to tell you the truth,
you missing it?
I have a fond appreciation for curling.
Oh, yeah. What?
I like curling. I did like curling. I know people think it's boring, but you know what? It reminds me of shuffleboard and stuff like that.
You had to say shuffleboard.
I liked shuffleboard back in the day. I don't know.
All right.
I did like a few, I write poetry too.
Hey, sure. I'm not mad at you. Hey, look, you hit the first subject that I'm going to talk about, and I call it Curl Me Some Gold USA. When I say curl me some gold, will you learn some curling? And so to me, before you even say it, dude, do you know how to play curling?
Hell no.
Do you know the rules
they
about
don't have curling in the ghetto?
Wait a minute.
They have no ice.
Wait a minute. What's the difference?
That ice was chopped up and put in the Kool-Aid.
What about dirt and rock? Okay. Or some plastic
we
later.
did have shuffleboard.
Okay. So
I don't understand. I guess the rubbing makes a difference, even though I really wonder how much that rubbing does make a difference. But so what? Let's say that little rubbing. I just wonder how much makes a difference. But, I'd like to have a physicist come in here and see some measures. But whatever.
Yeah.
It's wonderful to watch for me. I like it. It also looks like a sport I can do. That's what I like about it.
That's why I figured you.
What
part can you do out of this picture?
Getting down on ice.
Which one? The left, the right, or the middle?
I don't know if I can get up on ice.
Right.
But I can get down.
Like the guy in the middle who's...
Yeah.
Okay. You
might have to help me up. It's like push-ups. I need somebody pushing back.
Jacked up. So let me congratulate them and then you can continue. Congratulations, USA wins gold. Hey, man, they're on the circuit right now, man. They're on the circuit because...
Curling! It's not just getting your hair did.
But let me just say this.
It's something else.
Because
it's sisters with big weeds.
It's such a unique sport. You can't go out and just immediately play it, man. So how do you get involved in it as much as you celebrate it? How do you attach yourself to it? It's even more difficult than golf. Golf is expensive. Everybody knows to play it regularly, it costs you. Curling, where are you going to go?
I can't go. And I tell you, if you ask around the hood, they're going to give you something else.
Right.
Hot orange.
Right. So, and let me say this. Is this, and I'm not knocking, look, first of all, I'm going to congratulate all the athletes because I believe when they're doing the Olympics and they're playing the Olympics, they're doing it. But let me first also say, what's less about what happened this year is the expectations of what America thought they were going to see, which was the ice skating. And they didn't deliver. So right. But you didn't get the delivery of where we like to take our commercial brand and run everybody over to the ice skate. It didn't happen.
But 2010 was. What's amazing is to find out in 2010 we set a record for medals.
Yep.
So obviously in the Olympics, Vic, stuff shifts fairly dramatically sometimes between Olympics.
Right.
And here comes the U.S. winning in new things, losing in old things.
That's
and
right.
The same thing can be said
for
some of our European counterparts too.
Right. Look, Norway. Look, most people don't even know this. Even though that Norway scored about 38, 39 medals, whatever the case may be, most people don't realize when it was on the USA turf, or really Canada, Vancouver, we had 37. We led. So when you're on your home turf, you tend to produce. But Norway wasn't on their home turf, so we've done way better. The subject I'm getting to is watching the women dominate the medal count against the men of the USA, meaning that they generated more medals than the men. I'm not trying to holler at
Bravo
you
to
guys.
the ladies.
I want to sit back and give up more props to the ladies. Ladies pulled it off, man.
Give it up to the ladies.
And let me say this, and I'm not knocking this right offhand. They don't, in snowboarding and alpine skiing and slalom, you don't separate, the hills are different. They're not like the men. There's no contrast between the difference between the men and the women. There's no difference. So when you watch the women put it down, you're literally sitting there going, I'm watching 16-year-olds do this. And I'm going to compare it to a sport that has yet to get the same viewership competitively. And we're going to find out maybe later on a different show. You don't get the same in the WNBA. So the correlation is not the same for some obvious reasons. But when I watch snowboarding and the downhill slalom, what they do, I am like fixed. And let me say this other thing. Snowboarding, all the different competition levels, slope style, big air, got me. And I'm saying the women are like putting it down, man. They are delivering. They deliver better than the men.
I think this is the one who won in, I think it was down. She won in snowboarding, gold in snowboarding, and in what? And
big air. Big air. You're talking about Jamie Anderson.
Yes.
She won in slope style gold, and then she won silver in big air. Literally, you're watching every movement because there is no separation. You don't look at it and say, well, the men.
One of them won in a ski event, too.
Oh, yeah, we're about to get to her. Okay. So I'm just going to give props to Jamie because she led the women. You're getting now to Michaela Schifrin. Michaela hit big time. She did the alpine skiing giant slalom gold, and then, of course, alpine combined. So when you watch them, you're mesmerized. And this is not to take away from anything from Lindsey Vonn, because everybody's going, let's go follow the most popular, the woman who's been there. She's been around. She's not, what they call young against the new talent. She's still young, but she's already had her big time. So want to give props to the only multi-medalist from the USA. It happened to be women. So that means right now, no men won more than one medal. The ladies dropped multiple medals in their competition. So I'm just letting you guys know.
Who's the one who won a ski event gold and a snowboard event gold?
You're talking about the crossover, different country. Yeah, she's not from the USA.
She won.
I forgot her name.
Yeah,
she
there
crossed
was one
over.
lady who won in both snowboarding and
skiing. First time.
I thought what was amazing.
First time. I can't remember the country.
It was a lot of, first of all, no offense. When you can remember the country, I have a hard time with some of the names.
Hey, look. Hey,
the Russian names, I'm getting better at the Russian ones.
Ask me to sit back and say all the names, the Swedish names and the Norwegian. I can't do it. I'm going to kill it. This is my recognition of the women in the USA, because they literally, to me, kept the interest as far as I'm watching. And the only other sport that I probably watch even more is the speed skating. When I watch the speed skating, it's the one thing I can look at and go, okay, you know what? They need to cover this more. But they're not going to cover it as much from the USA end if we don't have that level of competition up there. So you don't get as much coverage. As much as you get the ice skating. The ice skating got so much coverage, but under-delivered.
There's so many events they have to make some decision about what to show you, and then they make the decision. You're right. And that's why, you might have to watch. Well, I don't know how it worked this year because I didn't try. But in past, we've had to watch different outlets.
Yes.
In order to get what you wanted.
Absolutely.
In the Olympics.
You absolutely have to. So, and look, and they only did what they thought was the projection. Here's where we're going to make a name. Here's where you're going to see the commercials, the campaigns, the corporate sponsorships, the show appearances. It didn't happen. So, hey, my congratulations to all the athletes from the USA. But this was the women's time. They put it down, and they're only going to get better. And y'all got me, or you all got me on snowboarding, giant slalom.
Once again for the ladies.
Love it, man. Love it.
Yeah.
Okay, now, I got to bring it over here, dude, because I know everybody's going to say, well, that game was a blowout. But when I watch Oklahoma Thunder and Golden State Warriors, let me just eliminate the blowout as it relates to the first 3 quarters of the game. First 3 quarters of the game was only a 5-point difference. This was much about cold shooting from the Thunder. And then you top that off with now Golden State said, let's ramp up the defense. So combine good defense, excellent defense, and cold shooting, you'll get a blowout. No big deal. But I'm saying this right offhand. This is what I'm voting. Houston may be the better team to play Golden State in the Western Conference Finals. But if you want to see a war, you want OKC. Because the war was on. And I was going, do you see you see Kevin getting all up in Carmelo's face? You see what Draymond is doing with Paul George? And then, of course, Darth Zaza. And we're going to get to him in a minute. But I'm just saying, I don't know if you watched the game, Mario. This was what they would call.
I missed it.
Okay. OKC has a 2-0 lead. They've already beat Golden State at home and away. This was redemption for Golden State. So they came in with a chip on their shoulder. You got to see the defense that you haven't seen in a while from Golden State. Now you end up going, oh, this is how they roll. So the first thing I noticed was Paul George going against Draymond. Draymond was locked in. Now, before he was locked in, Paul was just missing everything. He was 0 for 11. So cold shooting. But when they ramped it up, Draymond was all in his grill. That was the easiest fight. And yes, Draymond got a technical foul. He's expected to. He gets his next technical foul, he's done. He's gone 1-game suspension. So he better get that suspension before the regular season's out. Here's the one that everybody's talking about. I want you to look at this picture. I want you to look. This is Darth Zaza. Now, I call him Darth Zaza. That's Zaza Pachulia. Okay. You see where he is right now. He is falling. Now, you see his 2 arms. People brace themselves with their arms, right? So when you brace yourself to fall, there are no leg entanglements between Zaza and Russell. You see it between Shaggy P. Go to the next photo, and you're going to see where I said, now, how did he end up like this? Now, how did he end up backwards on his legs? You got to see the play. You want to talk about a dude going after somebody's legs? When you go see the video, it's terrible. This is the part where you sit there and go, I go back and forth with the picture, and I go, so he's falling forward. He's literally falling forward. And he ends up turning around to sit on his legs.
He throws a butt at him.
So let me just say this. You coming back to get some from Zaza the next go around? Or are you sitting up there going like this? Hey, that's just how the game is. That's what Wes was saying. Do you come back and get some Zaza? Or do you leave it up to one of your players to say, give me Zaza? And if you did on OKC, who would be the person that comes after Zaza on the Thunder? So that you get time to think about this. Here's the players.
Well, Draymond.
No.
I mean on the Thunder.
On the Thunder. Who goes after Zaza? Adams don't do that.
I'm just saying he doesn't. He would just respond in a physical way. I'm not saying that.
He would not do what they call.
No, I'm not saying doing the dirty stuff. I said, but he would respond in a physical way. Right.
Because he already
no one's going to respond.
Right.
Like Zaza, because that's what he's known for right now.
Right.
They called him a dirty player.
Right. So he's already taken out Kawhi Leonard. You already see what's happening. He ain't coming back till next season. He's already hit Westbrook, and then they did a collage of all the stuff that he's done. Nobody is coming up and giving Zaza anything. So I just call him Darth, man. He's untouchable. And they've said it. They say he's untouchable. Now, do you want to see Houston when they say we can run up and down and play better? Or do you want to see OKC because it's actually enter wars within the battle? To see Kevin Durant go face up on Carmelo was somewhat shocking to me. So, what would you rather see? A race, or would you want to see them pound and ground?
I just want to see. They can do either way. I want to see it clean. You can do whatever you want. I'm not for dirty playing.
Right.
So if that's the choice, then, that takes you back to the old Detroit Pistons.
Right.
So it's not new.
True. It's not. It's not.
But yeah, I want to see good play.
Right.
Hustle, so.
Okay. I'm racing through this because I'm short on time. I'm going to end off with a quote from Detroit Pistons coach who says a lot, Stan Van Gundy. And I'm going to quote what he actually speaking out about recently. NCAA worst organization in races. He says people that were against players coming out of high school made a lot of excuses, but I think a lot of it was racist. I never heard anybody go up in arms about minor league baseball or hockey, Van Gundy told reporters. They're not making big money, and they're white kids primarily, and nobody has a problem. But all of a sudden, you got black kids or a black kid that wants to come out of high school and make millions. That's a bad decision. But bypassing college to go play for $800 a month in a minor league baseball, that's a fine decision. What the hell is going on? Is this about economics or is it racist?
It's both.
Good one. Yeah.
Racism always affects economics.
Yes. Simple.
So, yeah, it's obvious.
Yeah.
Always has been. They get in the way, the NCAA. I said if I was a millionaire, that would be one of the people I would just sue on behalf of players.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would just sue them.
Yeah.
They're just getting away with it, and their days are numbered, and they know it.
It is kind of reminding me of what the NFL had to do with the concussion approach and what they're doing. It's a matter of time when they're sitting up here saying,
it out.
Absolutely. And yes, let's say the economics is it, but it's true when you turn around and say, why is one and done a difference? It's about the money. Or some people will say, just like Stan, it's racist. So with that being said, I didn't get to the comparison of what's happening in the NCAA, Sean Miller at Arizona. Only reason why it's such an obvious subject.
Well, just looking at Shaq's son and going, whoa.
Decommitting, I know. So let me say this. I'll just say this. I am not going to jump on the coaches, and I'm not going to go out and select the players, because the part that I say is complicit is with ignorance. In other words, the hierarchy knows it goes on, and they turn a blind eye. And then when they want to have somebody target, it's easy to go out and pull out all these coaches. Now, yes, you should follow the rules. I'm not saying don't break the rules. But when they want to slap a target up, now with the news coming down that the big schools are involved, Kansas, Duke, or questionably involved, North Carolina, USC, now it starts ringing that it's a bigger issue and is not energized solely by the players. And the coaches know that this goes on and it's rampant. So hopefully we'll learn some things, but I truly believe that the landscape is changing. Pay the players. You pay the players and stop being greedy, bitches.
That's right.
You'll get something. I'm done, man. I'm done on that one.
Richard Allen's new Sportz is unique-based fan view for sports. Richard Allen, a recurring segment of the Morning Cup with Mario show here every Monday. Be there or be square. Remember to dress appropriately. Sports bras, jock straps. Bring your own Loachman cream. Be part of the sports movement.